So in my scenario, I am acting as a therapist in a foster care organization, and I have recently started working with a 9-year-old client. She has been placed into foster care with a relative with her 2 younger brothers because her mother was incarcerated. So she's been seeing me to kind of help her cope with, being in a new home, as well as not seeing her mom as much anymore. She has started recently wetting the bed. Her teachers have concerns of how much she's isolating herself at school. She's failing, and these are not typical behaviors of her. So one day after several sessions with my client, she came in and I noticed unusual bruising on the inside of her arm. And when I asked her about it, she immediately pulled her sleeves down. She became very evasive. She doesn't know how she got them. And she just got kind of quiet after that. After our session, I had called the foster parents in and had her leave and just kind of asked them if they know how she got the bruises, and they kind of gave me the same evasive answer. They don't know. Kids will be kids. So because of her behaviors and because of, the bruising, I am concerned. So I decided to increase our sessions. The foster parents are quite reluctant about doing this. So when it comes time for our next session, they call me last minute, say they can't come, something came up. Again, more evasive answers. I told them that I'm going to be needing to see her, the following day, that it's important. And they, and I told them that if it was an issue with transportation, I could organize that through the organization to get her there. Again, they were reluctant, but they end up bringing her to the session the next day, and she has a black eye. So, of course, I asked my client how that happened, and she just kind of shuts down, doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to say much. After a little bit of time goes by, and she's kind of warming up to me, and our session is almost over, I ask her again, would you like to tell me about how you how you got your black eye? And she just burst into tears, begging me not to say anything to her foster parents because she'll never get to see her brother ever again, and she'll never get to see her mom, and she doesn't want to go to a different home that she's unfamiliar with. So at this point, I am extremely concerned for not only her physical well-being, but her mental well-being as well. I end up talking to the foster parents and, saying that I just spoke with the client about this, and, can you tell me what happened? And they immediately start saying that, she's a liar, they never touched her, they would never do that. But then they kind of say something that made me feel a little uncomfortable. They said, things like that wouldn't happen to her, if she was as well behaved as the real kids. So they start screaming over each other, saying that essentially they're doing her a favor because who else would want her? I decide to make a report immediately to have her removed along with her brothers. I am uncomfortable at this point even allowing her to go home with her foster parents because of the behavior that they've displayed in the session. And, if this is the kind of acts that they feel comfortable doing to a child, I am terrified for her to go home with them and see what the results of that would be. So I end up keeping the children with me until, the authorities come, and then they can handle that situation better. So tell me if you think that I made the right call. Was it within my right to, keep the children with me at the office until, CPS or the police showed up? Thank you for your time.